Hey guys, SunDownRider here. This is going to be my chapter review to My Hero Academia or Boku no Hero Academia 181 for Another's Sake. Now this was a decent chapter. It wasn't like amazing, but it was quite nice to just kind of serving off as a rounding off chapter for this mini arc against Gentle and Love Lover. So it's pretty decent. The chapter starts with a flashback where Ectoplasm receives information that a student from UA has not returned from a short shopping trip, obviously talking about Deku. He then talks to Hound Dog over intercoms, who says he needs some backup to go check out 3 individuals who reek of sweat and agitation and who have strayed off the main pathways that lead into or away from UA. So obviously they go check it out, and then we come back to present time with Gentle surrendering to Ectoplasm and Hound Dog. Ectoplasm recognizes Gentle as the prankster on YouTube, while Hound Dog asks where he picked up his injuries and why there's a hole in the ground and stuff like that. And he uses the age-old excuse, I slipped and I fell. And Hound Dog and Ectoplasm can really smell the bullshit, especially because Hound Dog knows there was a third person, which Gentle kind of denies. Hound Dog then asks where the UA student is, obviously realizing, obviously already knowing because of the scent of a UA student, he realizes that there must have been a UA student there. And at this point, Gentle's like, yeah, he's just over there. So while Izuku kind of makes his way back to the scene, because last chapter he was knocked away from the kind of crime scene, while he's making his way back to there, we get this kind of inner monologue from Gentle, who talks about how he has lived selfishly, only for himself, really. And he talks of how he's happy that his last fight was with Deku, because he got to put all his kind of emotions and feelings on the line, his hopes, his passion, his love, his anger at the system, and his frustrations at his own failures. And by the end of it all, and like really just having utilized all of those emotions and put that on the line in the fight and burning out, really, he's realized that in the end he's left with, and he has always possessed, a heart which cares for others. And I think this was a big part of Gentle's character, and will be a big part of Gentle's character, because I don't see this mini arc introducing Gentle for him not to come back in the future. I fully expect him to come back in the future, maybe at a time where Deku's in real big trouble, and then Gentle pops in, and we'd all shit ourselves. That's the truth of it. If Gentle popped into a major fight, it would be so hype. So I think this was a big part of Gentle's character, for him to realize that his villainous side is not really true to himself, and he has always cared for and always will care for others, something which has really been ingrained in him since he was in school, and has really rooted itself into his soul. And he's still got that kind of idealistic, not even idealistic, he's still got that ideology of aiming to become a hero. He's still a hero at heart. So he lost himself on the journey, but here in the end he's found himself once more. So I think that was pretty nice to just really wrap up Gentle like that. Gentle then kind of shoulders the blame for Love Lover's actions, saying he kidnapped and brainwashed Aiba, which is her name, making her pardonable for her crimes. And as he does this, Deku kind of walks in on the scene, still harboring his injuries, which draws Ectoplasm's attention. And when asked if they fought, Deku's just like, he kind of realizes exactly what Gentle was trying to do. So he says it was simply a small dispute between a prankster and himself, and everything is fine. Now I think this was pretty cool of Deku, because I think it'll also lessen Gentle's punishment, but it also means that Love Lover will be left with very little to her name in terms of crime. She won't be punished very harshly at all, I don't think. And like I said, I think even Gentle will be free of more severe punishments just because of Deku's reaction. So all of this happens while Love Lover has kind of like a mental breakdown, because Gentle is taking all of the blame and more, really. She didn't ever want to be a nuisance to him, but at this point that's kind of how she feels right now, because that's essentially what she's become. He's shouldering all the blame. He's not using her as a partner. They're not splitting the blame. He's taking it all on himself just to kind of let her get away with it. So with that, Hound Dog starts to escort Gentle back to the police station, but just before they leave, Gentle drops some motivation for Deku. He tells him of how he was also once enrolled on a hero course, and that he does mention a hero course and not the hero courses. So he might have attended a different school, or maybe he was at UA. I think we were told he was at a different school, but I'm not sure if that was where he was studying. No, we already knew he was at a different school anyway. So yeah, we're told he enrolled on a hero course, and that his villainous persona was really born out of the despair of hero dropouts. So not just himself, just hero dropouts everywhere. People who didn't have the will, people who didn't have the persistence to carry on as heroes. He was born out of that kind of melting pot of despair and hatred. He then basically tells Deku to go and make Eri smile, which is part of what Deku fought for, and at the end of the chapter it's essentially what Deku says he fought for 100%. So we then get a small thought bubble from Gentle, who says the reason he's filled with such regret is because he wasn't persistent enough. And I think this is him probably talking about his failures as a youngster and not working with every fiber of his being to succeed, which is kind of the polar opposite of his foe in this situation, which was Deku, who's utilized every ounce of soul and will he's had in him. He's utilized in his studies and his performance just to become the hero that he wants to be, which is something that I think Gentle saw in Deku and realized that that's where he went wrong. He didn't have enough persistence. So Ectoplasm then escorts Deku as he looks for his shopping bags, with time running closer and closer to Class 1A's performance. While he's looking for his shopping, we get an inner monologue from Deku, who states once more that fighting Gentle was difficult for him because of how similar they are and how their feelings and motivations were also very similar, in the sense that Gentle fought for someone else. He fought for Love Lover and their shared goal, while Deku fought for Eri and her smile, and also kind of the undertone was his classmates as well. He didn't want their dreams to be shattered. So with this, the rest of the chapter flashes by, with Eri worried that Deku may not be performing because Aizawa and Mirio are told by Ida that he hasn't come back yet, and time runs on and on until the performance starts, and we see that Deku is dressed up and he's performing, and he's there just telling himself that the reason he fought was to see Eri smile, which is the final panel we see, which is the smile that you want to protect. So a nice chapter to finish on, and I just can't wait to see what we move on to next, because hopefully the League of Villains will be making a comeback, and we'll see exactly what they've been getting on with, and hopefully we'll see the kids of Class 1A and maybe even a few more heroes, because we have seen heroes that we do like outside of Class 1A, even the kids from the other schools who are on hero courses as well. I've forgotten their names right now, but the kids from Shiketsu, I think it was called High School, I'm hoping they come back and we get to see them again. But yeah, this next arc, whatever it's going to be about, I'm excited for it, because Horikoshi's just been badass at the moment. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this chapter. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in a bit.